All right, third hour. Got to roll with some homework 34. Got to go with the common denominators. So we've got fractions. We're not caring so much on this assignment about the numerators. We just got to work with the denominators. X plus 8x, not the same, so we have to build a common denominator, what everybody in the math world calls the old LCD, least common denominator. We're going to build one. So we don't care so much about the tops. We've just got to focus on this assignment just on the denominators. So when you build a common denominator, you've got to make sure every part's included from both fractions. So boom, here, an x plus 8, he's included. You look over here, it's just a regular x. You got to have him included. And if you've got both parts ready to go and they're part of your LCD, you're in business. This is going to be your answer for your least common denominator. So what this assignment looks like is they're not even going to give you the top parts. They'll just give you two denominators. Like say you have one denominator is 7y and then another denominator y plus 3. So if these were your two denominators, what would the LCD, the least common denominator, look like? You're like, well, hold on. I got to include this. I got to include that. So it's going to look like 7y times y plus 3. So I've included everything from both denominators to build my LCD, common denominator. So we got 6 examples. That was 2 quick ones. And again, don't worry about the numerators. This is how it's going to look on the assignment. They're going to just give you denominators to work with. All right, let's get it out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4x cubed y to the 9th. So here's one denominator, 4x cubed y to the 9th. A second one is 7, x to the 6th, and then maybe just a y. Okay, number-wise, we can probably figure out what's got to happen. I've got a 4, I got a 7. What do 4 and 7 both go into? You're like, bam, that's 28. Knew that. Now, here's what's backwards on your powers for x and your powers for y. When we're factoring, it's always the lowest one that we take out. But when you're building your common denominator, it's the other way. It's the big boy. So third power, sixth power. So for my common denominator, you go with the largest power. X to the 6th, that's a first, that's a 9. We want y to the 9th. So when you're building your common denominator, your LCD, largest power, 4 times 7, 28, bam, you're in business. Okay. Let's roll it again. Let's do a little factoring. So I throw a little factoring back at you guys. X plus 9, 4x plus 36. X plus 9, 4x plus 36. So how these problems work is they say, hey, here's a denominator, there's a denominator. So from these two denominators, can you build this? Make sure that you've got it factored first before you start building. X plus 9, that's good. That's not going anywhere. But here, you can take a 4 out of there. And 4x plus 36 actually becomes x plus 9. So your common denominator has the x plus 9. Ooh, x plus 9. It's in there. But you still have to account for anything on the outsides. And you do. You got a 4 on the outside. So your common denominator when you build this will be 4 times the group x plus 9. So you just factor that first, put it together. Building the common denominator. All right, let's do number 5, and then we got number 6 still left. All right, lots of factoring here. How about x squared plus 14x plus 48. Factoring out an x squared plus 6x. All right, so here you go. One denominator given to you, another denominator given to you. From these two denominators, you got to factor them down first. Do a little factoring. All right. So to get 48, you're thinking 6 times 8. Oh, that adds to be 14. So 6 times 8 gives you the 48. 6 plus 8 gives you the 14. You've got it factored. Love factoring the trinomials. Not much to factor out on this one. Take an x out. X plus 6, that's all you got right there. All right, now we've got to build it. We've got to include everything for my common denominator. Everything from here, everything from there included. If we start right here, here's x plus 6, so we drop it in. That's our first part of our common denominator. X plus 6, he's in. X plus 8, x plus 8 going in. So plus 6 is in, plus 8 is in. Oh, x on the outside, got to include that. So throw him out in front. Plus 6 is in, plus 8 is in, x is in. Oh, x plus 6. Already got it covered. So my x plus 6 is covered, plus 8 in, x on the outside. And you got it. So factor it down, make sure everything's included, common denominator. 5 of the 6 examples done. Let's do one more. Let's put a whole bunch of stuff up here. X squared minus, oh, okay, difference of squares. So there's one denominator. Let's do an x, and how about 8x minus, whoa, not very good minus sign, minus 40. Okay, so denominator, a second denominator, a third denominator. What we're going to do is we're going to factor all the way across, get it factored first, then we'll build it. Like we know this is a difference of squares. X plus 5, x minus 5. So definitely factor that first. Then an x. Over here, take an 8 out. So we do a little bit of factoring. After you get everything factored, you start trying to build your LCD, build that common denominator. Got to go all the way across. First group, let's put him in there. Here's x plus 5, got him in. Next group, x plus x minus 5. Got to get that one in there. So x plus 5 is in, x minus 5 is in. Here's just a plain x. You got to put him out in front. Plus 5's in, minus 5's in. Oh, there's an 8. Put him out in front too. So we got numbers, we got letters, we got groups. Last one, x minus 5, he's covered. So your minus 5 and your minus 5 covered. X is in, x plus 5 in, the 8's in. Everything is accounted for. This big, massive denominator LCD. So you have built it, that's your job. So on this assignment, you go to the Google form, multiple choice, you got 10 of these guys, turn and burn.